Hi guys, thank you for joining me. It's Anushka here with your astrology update for February. Before I go into the video, just to mention, for those of you who are interested in seeing more from me, tarot readings and updates and articles and some of my artwork as well, those of you who want to support me, head over to Patreon. I've just started up a Patreon page and I'll be sharing my esoteric artwork. I'll be doing impromptu readings and sharing all kinds of stuff on there, so I'd really appreciate it if you headed over there and just show me some love. Okay, on with your reading. Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your February astrology with me, Anushka. Right, okay, so I think a lot of Sagittarians have been having a really good time. You've got not only Jupiter in your first house, in your sign of Sagittarius, but you've also got Venus there as well. So, you know, as we leave January and go into February, you know, you guys have probably been having a really good time. You've been received well. And, you know, there are a few things that reiterate this, but this is a great time to be going for opportunities, Sagittarius, because you're coming across so well, so amiable, you're more attractive in every single way, and especially with the face that you present to the world during this time. So take advantage of that, because he's not going to be there for long. He'll be entering Capricorn on the 3rd of the month. But certainly, I think a lot of Saggies have been having fun recently, especially with that Mars there in the 5th house. With Uranus there as well, you know, shaking things up. You've been going out, socializing, perhaps paying more attention to your creativity, putting more energy into children, having fun with the kids, just having a great time in general. So, you know, really lovely energy as we come into the month for you, Sagittarius. And, you know, with Uranus there in the 5th house, he's going to be leaving next month, and I'm going to go more into depth. I'm going to go more, yeah, I'm going to go more into depth with that next month. But he's been in your 5th house for 7 years now, and he's really been shaking out your sense of like what it is you enjoy. Because quite often we can think we like something, and then we realize we're only doing it because everyone around us was, you know. So Uranus is asking you to be more authentically you. What is it you love? What is it you love to do? What are you passionate about? It's also been shaking up your sense of self-esteem, not asking you not to rely on others in order to feel like you're proud of yourself, knowing that you are authentically who you are, and that's enough. You don't need to have the admiration of others. And there's been probably some ups and downs in terms of your social life, in terms of how you have fun and those kinds of things, especially in your romance, okay? Some unusual, interesting characters coming in. But what he's doing is he's wrapping up the lessons now before you move into your 6th house, where he'll want to liberate you on a work and day-to-day and health foundation. Okay, so this is the energy we're coming into the month with. Now, your focus this month is going to be very much on communication. You're going to be busy in the day-to-day. I imagine that a lot of Sagittarians are going to be, this is that time of year when you're running around, you're doing things, you've got tasks, you're in the community, you're talking to a lot of people, that kind of thing. And this is where the new moon is going to be happening, in that 3rd house of communication and automobiles and short distance trips and learning and writing, okay, and speech. So this is where that new moon is going to be happening. And then the full moon on the 19th is going to be in your 10th house of your career and what you do in the world. Okay, so these are the two aspects that are highlighted. I think Sagittarians have been very sociable recently, and you're going to start moving into a more serious, money-driven, work-driven mode as we go through February and into March, okay? This is where the energy is going to start going. This is where you're going to start really putting your focus. But at the moment, you're having a good time. Really good time for creative self-expression for Saggies, I would say at the moment as well. You know, obviously we've still got Saturn there, you know, coming ever closer to Pluto in your 2nd house in 2020, right? So this is going to be transforming you on a financial level in terms of your income and your resources. So we're building to that. But we're going to see themes arising that echo this sentiment of you stepping up a level in terms of your finances, your economic status, okay, and what it is you do and how you use your talents as well to make money. So let's get into the month. So on the 2nd, we have a little bit of tension. So we've got Mars squaring off with Pluto, and for you this is happening between your 5th house and your 2nd house. So there could be some tension here. This is power struggles. This is this is people not necessarily behaving, okay? This is ego conflict, that kind of thing. Now, what I see this playing out for with you, as I actually see, now there could be a tension in terms of how you want to spend your money, between how you want to spend your money and then how you have to spend your money, where you have to invest your money, but you really want to be able to spend it on lavish things and have fun, but you've got to, you know, take care of the bills. It could play out that way. But at the same time, this can give you a lot of focus if you channel this energy right. It can give you a lot of focus to get creative projects done, to get passion projects really done. And if you're, I don't know, into anything like acting or anything where you have to be expressive, this could give you a real edge in terms of your ability. On the same day, though, we also have a lovely trine happening from Venus in your house, okay, in your sign, happening from Venus to Uranus. So this is fun, exciting, dynamic energy of creativity, of self-expression. So I think you're going to have a lot of energy as we start the month. Pour that into whatever it is you're passionate about, whether it's your work, whether it's your hobbies, whatever it is. There's a lot of energy to be had here and to be harnessed and focused. And for you, I do feel like it's going to be on how you express yourself in some way, on some level. It could even be, you know, that square, that could be a child, you know, wanting money, and you're like, no, you know, we don't have the money to do this. There could be a bit of a clash there. That's another way it could play out. Okay, on the 3rd, Venus enters Capricorn. So it goes from your sign into your 2nd house, which is nice because we like Venus and Capricorn. Venus brings us blessings wherever she is. Your 2nd house is to do with money, resources, finances. So Venus coming into the 2nd house, this is going to be, we're more inclined to spend on lavish things, on beautiful objects for the home, for ourselves, beautifying ourselves, that kind of thing. There, well, beautifying ourselves is more Venus in the 1st. Into the 2nd, we might spend on, you know, artworks, things like that. So you're going to be, you know, there are blessings coming during this transit as Venus transits the 2nd house. You're going to be appreciating the value of money a lot more, and perhaps putting effort into how can I attract more money, using the law of attraction, those kinds of things. But in a more kind of pragmatic way, because obviously your 2nd house is ruled by Capricorn, and Capricorn is a very pragmatic and practical sign. On the 4th, we have a new moon happening in Aquarius, in that 3rd house of yours of communication. Now, I really, really like this new moon, and the reason why is because along with the Sun and Mercury, this new moon is going to make a sextile to Jupiter in your sign. This is opportunities coming to you, Sagittarius. This is possibly the initiation, the beginning, the energy initiation of some opportunity for you to express yourself. For those of you who are writers or in publishing or learning or teachers, anything like that, there could be some new opportunity coming along here, because this is really nice, positive energy that I think will fit into plans that you have and where your mind has been going recently in terms of what you want to do this year and what you want to accomplish this year. So be on the lookout for that, and be sure to set a new moon intention, I would say, Sagittarius. For those of you who don't know what they are, it's a way of harnessing that new moon energy and basically channeling it into whatever it is you want. So I would use this new moon energy to do an intention based around your plans, in terms of business, in terms of if you're involved in anything, like I said, writing-wise, teaching-wise, speaking-wise, you know, whatever it is actually, in any way that you want to expand, because Jupiter's in your sign. Whatever it is you're passionate about following, whatever it is you're aiming for, make a new moon intention for that. If you don't know how, I will be releasing a video next week on how to do new moon intentions and full moon rituals as a process of initiating and letting go, waxing, waning, the same way the moon does. And what I love about these intentions is it gets us into the rhythm of not only nature and the moon, but also our own psyche, because we're very, very influenced by the moon, and we actually create, a lot of our creation comes from that subconscious, lunar, emotional, magnetic energy. Okay, so then on the, let's have a look. Okay, on the 8th, we have a lovely sextile happening as well, right? So that's between the Sun in the 3rd house, in that same 3rd house again. It's exact this time between Sun and Jupiter. So once again, this is opportunities coming to you that I think you'll really like. Okay, so just be on the lookout. Make sure you're putting yourself out there. I think it would be wise to be involved in your local community, okay? Be out and about, be doing stuff. Make sure that you're taking short trips and going and seeing places, because these could bring fortunate events to you. So I really like that. So that's on the 8th. On the 10th, Mercury goes into Pisces, into your 4th house. So this is when our communication becomes a lot more fluid, a lot more empathic, a lot more emotional. And, you know, in the 4th house, you might be communicating with a loved one about what you want to do together in the home, how you want to change the home, what plans you have perhaps for living together. You know, you're perhaps being a bit more reflective of the past, you know. So mentally it's a little bit quieter than when it's in the 3rd house. It goes a little bit more deeper and sentimental, but this is a really good time for having those open kinds of discussions with people that you want to have, okay, those discussions with. And this is of course followed by the Sun on the 18th, when the Sun goes into Pisces, highlighting your home, your family, your security, the past, and bringing a nice sense of gentleness to it, you know. Like I said, more empathic, you're more sensitive to other people's feelings. On the 14th, on Valentine's Day, is when Mars goes into Taurus. Now for you, Taurus rules your 6th house. So this means energy we're coming from the 5th house now of creativity, play and romance, energy going into the work, okay? So you can see your finances are starting to be highlighted, your work is starting to be highlighted. So you're going to be busy day to day. This could see you starting a new health regime. This could see you just putting more energy into work, being a lot busier in the day. Great time to make a schedule, all right? Think about making a schedule, especially with Mercury in your 4th house, making a schedule that's not only supportive to your work and your health, but also your sense of inner contentment and inner peace, you know, a schedule that gives you time to have time out. Really good time to do that. Pay attention to their health at this time, because flare-ups are possible if you haven't been looking after yourself, and they tend to be of a more inflammatory sense, because Mars tends to inflame. He's got that fiery energy, okay? So just be aware of that. But because this is Valentine's Day, Mars moving into Taurus, I mean, Taurus is a sensual sign, okay? Taurus is about the bounty of nature. So it's a great time if you're with somebody, if you're dating someone, maybe do something outdoors if weather permitting. Something to do with nature, and you'll probably get a lot from it, because Mars wants us to ground in the beauty of nature. It's about the bounty of nature. And a great time as well to be really using all your senses when it comes to that Valentine's Day. You know, having good food, beautiful wine, massages, smelling nice smells. You know, it's very sensual. So I think this is going to be quite a sexy time for a lot of people. You're also looking as well, with this Mars moving into the 6th house, of your long-term success, long-term strategies that are going to work for you in terms of your health, in terms of the work and the service you provide for others. All right, so I've already told you the Sun moves into Pisces on the 18th. Okay, directly after that, on the 19th, we have a full moon happening in your 10th house in Virgo. Right, now this full moon is surrounded by all these different supportive aspects that I really, really like. So we've got Venus in aspect to Neptune. We have Mars making a conjunction to Uranus, which actually I haven't mentioned, and I should have. 1 second. So Mars makes a conjunction to Uranus, and this is on the 13th. Now this is liberation energy. This is wanting to break free. This is wanting a change and really meaning it from a visceral place. For you, it relates to your creativity, your freedom, your children. This is just, it's hard to say what it is with Uranus, because Uranus is the unexpected, but there's a drive to be different on some level, to do differently, to express yourself as authentically as possible, and you're seeking freedom on a creative and self-expressive, in a creative and self-expressive way. Okay, so now I've mentioned that, let's go back to the full moon. The full moon is happening in your 9th house, and so we're going to have that Mars conjunct Uranus energy. We're going to have the Venus and Neptune energy. We're going to have the Saturn and Venus energy. Saturn will be conjunct Venus, and then Neptune will be, I can't remember right now what Neptune's doing, but Neptune is involved. But what this says to me is this is change, this is excitement, this is faith in life. And faith that the universe has your back, faith that you will have the resources that you want, and that you can create income, you can create money, you can create a career, a future, a service to the world that speaks to who you are as an individual, and that is lucrative as well. That's how I see it playing out for many of you, because this full moon is happening in the 10th house. It's really supportive. And for those of you who are spiritual or who are into astrology, well, you wouldn't be watching me if you weren't, but who are spiritual, who want to take esoteric studies deeper, great time to be really tapping into that energy. This could be the completion of a project as it relates to those things, but you might be feeling very psychic and intuitive at this time. But there's a sense of committing to a path that will support you financially, that might be quite unusual. With that Uranus there, Mars, might be quite unusual, but maybe you're taking a hobby seriously now, and you're really committing to it, and you're saying, I'm gonna, even if it doesn't happen tomorrow or next month or in the next 6 months, I'm committed to making this into a business that works for me, because it's authentically me, and I can see how I can benefit others and benefit myself by doing something I truly love, and there is money to be had, and there's a drive, okay? So I really, really like that. Then as we move into the end of the month, we have Mercury in Pisces squaring Jupiter in your sign, okay? So what I would watch out for here is the tendency to perhaps overpromise, be overly optimistic, overdo in terms of what you say to others, and it could be to do with a home situation. Okay, just be aware of that. But really, you know, I'm not too worried about that energy, if I'm honest. And we finish the month with sextiles happening between Mercury and Pluto and the Sun and Mars. Okay, so for you, we're going to be looking at, so this is home and finances, okay, and then work as well, and home. So you're seeing how the theme is kind of changing now. You're going to start knuckling down and getting really serious about whatever it is that you're passionate about doing. And for those of you who are already doing it, there's extra emphasis added here. There's going to be a lot more energy put into work and so on. Okay, Sagittarius, I hope you enjoyed your reading. Come join me on Patreon. If you like this, please press like and subscribe. And I will see you lovely ones next month. Take care. Bye.